It's lunchtime, but you're trapped in this school. Nowhere to go, nothing to eat. You think to yourself, maybe I can go out and walk somewhere near for lunch. But your stomach tells you otherwise. Before you know it, you're at the awful lunch lines. You think to yourself, which line should I go to? Eating has never really been this hard for you. You choose the healthiest line, mesmerized by the options, but as you look up, you realize that even with the 75 cents in your account, your extra dollar is not enough. Pizza it is, you tell yourself. You grab the biggest slice and move out. You find a seat, and the piece of pizza you have is disgusting, but luckily you have a napkin to soak the oil. Maybe tomorrow, you tell yourself. American lunches have been a major concern since the early 2000s, targeted by both school districts and the government. With oily pizzas and soggy salads, it's no wonder that authorities have been hunting down this issue for over a decade. 1 in 5 children or teens are obese in America, and much of this obesity has come from eating unhealthy lunches in school. Today, we're going to be cracking down on the roots of this problem and the reasons why I believe school districts should be required to make school lunches healthier.
In school, standardized test scores have been a significant measure of progress in the last decade. The No Child Left Behind Act was implemented way back in 2002, and what this did was that it required states to test students in the subjects of both reading and math from grades 3 to 8 and in high school. Because of the act, schools were scrambling for years to find different methods to raise test scores. They tried extending the school day, raising teacher salaries, even banning cell phones, but not until 2010 was school lunches seen as a solution.
In 2010, the Obama administration actually authorized funding for school meal programs in their Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act. It allowed for kids who are in low-income families to afford healthier food options. In a nutshell, $4.5 billion were provided by legislation to fund new resources for programs like the Adult Care Food Program, the After School Meal Program, and others. The reimbursement per meal was increased by 6 cents, more authority was handed over to the Secretary of Agriculture, and many other complicated processes occurred that made school lunches not only healthier, but a higher priority in government.
To get some more data, I asked the students at Coppell High School on their take on school lunches.
Do you think school lunches are healthy?
Absolutely not.
No, I don't think so.
Not at all.
And what do you think about the pricing?
Well, they're definitely overpriced.
I think they're too expensive.
It's way too high.
These results aren't even that shocking. In fact, I sent out a survey to over 50 high school students and I got numerous results.
Out of the people who took the survey, 38.9% of them said that they do not buy Coppell's lunches, with the main reasons saying that the food is too expensive for its healthiness. On a scale from 1 to 5 rating the pricing of the school's lunch, 1 being expensive and 5 being cheap, the average was a 2.2, suggesting that a large proportion of students think that Coppell's lunches are on the expensive side. On a scale from 1 to 5 rating the healthiness of Coppell's lunch, 1 being unhealthy and 5 being healthy, students rated it an average of 1.99, once again suggesting that students believe Coppell's lunches are not healthy at all.
This morning, actually, I got a call from my good friend Michael Anderson, and he wants to tell me about the research he's compiled up in the last few years. So I decided to drive all the way to California to talk to him. And nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for meeting me.
So in the past few years, I've been studying the effect of school lunch quality on academic performance, and I actually created a research paper over it just this last August.
So what's the main claim here?
So, as you probably know, improving the nutritional content of public school meals is a topic of intense policy interest. A main motivation is the health of school children, and in particular, the rising childhood obesity rate. Medical and nutrition literature has long argued that a healthy diet can have a second important impact, improved cognitive function. So in this paper, we tested whether offering healthier school lunches affects student achievement as measured by test scores. Our sample includes all California public schools over a 5-year period. We estimated difference in different style regressions using variation that takes advantage of frequent lunch vendor contract turnover. Students at schools that contract with a healthy school lunch vendor score higher on California state achievement tests. The test score gains, while modest in magnitude, come at a very low cost.
And how did you do all of this?
To measure academic achievement, we use California's Standardized Testing and Reporting, or the STAR, test data. The STAR test includes 4 core subject area tests and a set of end-of-course examinations. We created a composite test score each year for each school grade by calculating the average test score across all of the STAR subjects and the end-of-course test taken by students in a particular grade in each school. We use the standard deviation of each test, which differs by each grade and each year of the test, to standardize each subject and end-of-course test score before combining the scores into a single composite score.
Interesting.
With our statistics, we generated a few tables and models with our samples. The point estimate of the effect having a healthy vendor on test scores relative to no outside vendor is 0.031 standard deviations and is highly significant at the 0.1% level of each of the 3 specifications. Moreover, we are able to reject the null hypothesis that the coefficients for the healthy and standard vendors are equal at the 10% level for each specification. The standard vendor coefficient is an order of magnitude smaller and not statistically different from 0 in any specification. What this means, essentially, is that the inclusion of a vendor that offered healthier food created a significant impact on the test scores of children.
So what you're saying is healthy food does matter?
Absolutely. With the addition of vendors, my research shows a significant correlation between healthy lunch options provided by vendors and test scores.
Alright, thanks for your time.
No problem, brother.